What's going on, people? Here we are again in the Don's Theatre of Dreams, Don's HQ, where decisions are made. And today we're introducing to you, which some of you might have heard through the grapevine, is our boxing platform, our new boxing platform, DFC, which stands for Don's Fight Club. We're going to be putting on a show on October the 22nd at Beaverwood. It's called War at the Wood, but we're just going to get into it just to explain what is going on here. Obviously, Big Flip's in the building, Dana Black, Big G's in the building, and SK's in the building.
We're here.
So yeah, the whole point of this podcast is just to give you the information of what's going on, because as you know, the Dons dream big. Everything we do, we dream big, and we're coming for this boxing world as well, man. We're really trying to create a platform here. So yeah, DFC, Don's Fight Club, first card is on October the 22nd. I'll touch base on myself and my background with boxing. I'm just a boxing fan, to be honest. I went boxing when I was at 9 years old to about 10 years old. Me, Drops and Crook used to go boxing at Samuel Montague in Kidbrook. Went for about a year. I actually had a bout at the Peacock in East London, and I drew. But that was it. That was my experience of boxing done. Until recently, when I'm 32 now, 31, I had an opportunity to fight. Basically, SK, as everyone knows at the Dons, is boxing now. So I was training with him just every now and then to keep fit. Then I got an opportunity to actually fight. So that was my first time as an adult to get into a boxing camp. And boy, SK will tell you, Flips will tell you, that is no joke, bro. Yeah. So anyway, I'd done a camp for 3 months. I was supposed to fight in Manchester Arena. Unfortunately, it didn't go through. But the 3 months that I spent in camp training at TUA Boxing Gym, I fell in love with the sport. It actually became one of my favourite sports. It was tough at the start. I hated every minute of it, but then I started to get better. I started to improve my skills. Yeah, long story short, I actually fell in love with boxing. The fight didn't get to go ahead. But me and Flips, obviously Flips will talk in a second, we was talking behind the scenes for time anyway. We wanted to get into boxing, innit? And with the Dons platform, we know it's a platform that we could give to young and upcoming boxers, or even just boxers. It's no different to SC Dons. SC Dons is a Sunday League team full of people that maybe didn't achieve what they wanted to achieve. So we know with this platform, there's people out there that actually love boxing. And with my experience in camp, made me realise and respect how hard man work at boxing. And a lot of these people, these boxers, don't get credit, don't get paid, don't get the limelight that they deserve. And for me and Flips and Gav and them man at TUA and G and all of us in this room, we said, hey, if now's the time to get involved in boxing, now's the time. And we want to be able to bring a platform to the marketplace for boxers to jump on and enjoy themselves and have fun and fight and give them the platform that we know we can. So that was one of the reasons why we decided to start doing DFC. Like I said, the people behind DFC is SC Dons, but this is just our boxing angle. Official DFC _ is the Instagram. I think I've made a brief, and I'll move over to you, Flips, if you want to touch base on anything.
Yeah, so first things first, I've never been scheduled to fight at Manchester Arena. So, yeah, the come down starts here. But I walked into a boxing gym in September 2019 for the first time. I was a bit fat. I wanted to look like AJ. I had big belly, skinny legs. And I thought, how best to look like AJ other than to do what he does. Had my first ever spar with someone who was preparing for a fight in November, and I dropped him. And from there it was like, cool, let's get into this. So I got booked for a fight in March, on March 28th, 2020. I got myself down to cruiserweight, got myself to 90 kilos from about 105. Really gave it all that camp. And then on March 21st, the card got called off because the lockdown was announced for COVID. So in that time, like, we had several lockdowns, whatever. I played in a Dons v Dons match. I'd done my knee. I was in the middle of rehabbing it, and then I got a message saying cards on in 4 weeks. So I said, you know what? I've moved a lot of tickets. I'll just do it, get the fight out of the way. In my preparation for one bout, I've kind of seen both sides of boxing. So how I was feeling, having done a full camp for the March 28th date, which was originally called off, was the best I felt ever. Like, I was sharp, I was quick, everything. And then getting to October 2021, when I actually did fight, where I didn't have much preparation, you know, I've kind of seen both ends of the spectrum. So I say that to say this. No, I've always seen the quote that no fighter goes in 100%. So having seen both sides of the spectrum, I've always, like, it helped me develop a newfound respect for boxers because they make it look easy. In that time, I developed good friendship with a few gyms, a few boxers. I got deeper into it. I've always watched boxing as a fan. I'm a big boxing MMA fan. I don't really like football, but boxing and MMA, that's my bag. But I got deeper into the world through actually jumping in the ring and experiencing it myself. So, yeah, and as Drew said, you come across a lot of boxers who don't really get what their hard work warrants. I think at the higher level of unlicensed boxing and at the lower level of pro boxing is where you see a lot of people who don't get what they deserve. We'll touch on more details as this podcast goes on. But yeah, there are a few people fighting on DFC October 22nd who do have stories to tell about how the game hasn't been as kind to them as they probably deserve. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah, let's move over to you. Yep. Obviously, everyone knows you from the Dons. I think they've followed your career so far, 5 fights in. Talk to us briefly about your boxing journey so far. Touch on it.
It breeds discipline, man. Especially in this generation, young kids, you're hearing people getting stabbed. Other nonsense, bro. And I just feel like all they are kids with no discipline. So for me, first of all, boxing gave me discipline. I started a year ago. So prior to that, it was obviously the lockdown happened, and I was in a bit of a crossroads with, do I keep playing football or do I go on to look into doing something else? Because during that time being lockdown, it was more of a mental state for me whereas I didn't really know where I was going. And then so obviously I seen T-Ray on Instagram, and I messaged Gav, and I just came down. I came down straight away as soon as everything opened after lockdown. And man, as soon as I wrapped my hands, and as soon as I smelled that gym smell, you boys will know it, you've been in there. It's that first gym smell, the hand wraps, and then you wrap your hand in the glove. I felt like, why didn't I not start this earlier? I mean, before I even hit the pad, I said, I'm not leaving this place. This is where I belong. You know, I was dog shit when I first started. Like, horrible. Like, didn't know what a jab was. Didn't know why I was throwing the jab. Didn't know my defense was horrible. Footwork was bad. You know what I mean? And what Gav told me is, I need you in here 5 to 6 days a week, and we'll see where we go from there. And I gave Gav my word. I said, Gav, I'll be there 5 to 6 days a week. Then I ended up being there for 7. You know what I mean? And we came into a point where we were 6 months in of training, and Gav called me. I was at work, a normal day, and he said, S. I said, yeah, you got to fight.
Hey, sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. Can you do that in Gav's voice, please?
He's like, S.
Yes, man.
Right, mate.
Yes, mate. You got to fight, mate. You got to fight, mate.
Love up, mate.
You got to fight, love up, mate.
You fancy it or not?
He wants to hurt you.
I was about to say, every time I used to spar, yeah, because when I first started sparring, it was such a shock to me, yeah, because I've never been a victim in my life, yeah. And I'm not afraid of combat, yeah. But bro, like when I was sparring, I couldn't make sense of the concept, yeah, because what I'm trying to articulate here is I'm in the ring with a man and he's trying to punch my head off as far as I'm concerned. We're in a fight because I don't even know him at that point. I didn't know them.
Yeah.
But as time went on, I began to understand that it's actually, we're sharpening each other's tools. So the same way you train at football when you're trying to score in a man's goal, he's trying to hit you, yeah, but I couldn't fathom it. And I just remember, and you'll know, because there was times when I was sparring you and you could only use your left hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was encouraged to hit you.
Yeah.
And the man was saying, hit me, then hit me. but I couldn't do it, bro. I was
Can't
like,
beat someone you know.
what's wrong with me? And then like even the couple man I was sparring and I wasn't really trying to knock them out kind of thing. And I remember Gav was saying to me, I'll be honest with you, mate, them guys in there trying to hurt you. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, bro. But yeah, sorry, bro, I interrupted you there.
That's cool. So I was working and Gav called me, he's like, yes mate, I got you a fight. We gotta be in camp for 8 weeks, so tomorrow starts.
At that moment, was there a rewarding feeling that like he's selected you to go and fight based off what you showed him in the gym? So you've kind of earned his respect for him to say, you know what, this kid's ready to go in. Was that element there as well?
Also flips in saying that, it's like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
Between you guys, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So it was like, for me, it was like, okay, I'm getting better, but am I ready? This is a chance to show people, you know. So yeah, I remember just thinking, buddy, I've got to fight in 8 weeks. I've got to get ready now. I've got to really get my head down, and then I've got to lose the weight as well, because I was weighing about 80 kg and I had to get down to about 74, 75. So I've never done that before. I've never made weight for competition. So I think, okay, cool. Trained my ass off, man. Stayed in the gym. Obviously at the time, I had a partner at the time. You know what I mean? And man, that was tough. Going to camp and having to literally block everyone out, because in boxing is not a game that like football. No, for like boxing, you're going in there against another man one-on-one, and you might go in one way and leave out the other way, and might not leave out the way. Do you know what I mean? That's how serious the sport is. You can go in there. You see many top boxers, the Michael Watsons. You know, they go in the ring, and you know, sadly they don't leave the same way. And
a lot of the time, it takes one punch to do that. You know what I mean? Get hit in the wrong place at the wrong time. So there's a risk to it.
And that's why when my first fight, I said I'm gonna give it everything. I'm gonna sacrifice my life in the gym. I'm gonna give Gav my life. You know, because when I fight, I ain't representing me. I represent my name, my family, you know, my people, you guys. I represent the Dons. I represent people that the fallen angels, you know, Paula, you know, your dad Jimmy, you know. So everyone that's been with us, you know, I'm fighting for them. And that's why none of these guys will beat me. Not one of these guys will beat me. And yeah, I remember just going to that fight and I was thinking, had all my man in there, had Andrew behind me, George behind me, Flips with yours behind me, you know, Tariq, Gav, Luke, Shaq. I remember thinking, I am not losing this fight. No way. No way. Not in front of my people. This is my time. And yeah, man, just took him out in the first round and the journey began. And
that's another chance for us to again project our mindset. Yeah, because people will say to you, this is low standard of boxing. It's just like, why are you taking it so serious? We take everything serious, because I believe if you can program yourself, almost delude yourself, yeah, to believe that everything is a World Cup final, and approach life like that, then you will get your rewards.
Something will happen.
You have to. Every fight you fight, bro, it's the world heavyweight title of the world. It's every
standard
fight
is as low as you make it.
That's my point, and it's also as high as you make it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's all a mindset.
Absolutely.
Who's been your toughest fight so far? You've had 5 fights.
None. And I'll tell you why. Because I've had toughest fights in the gym. And if I'm being honest, all these guys I fought have had more experience than me, no boxing longer than I have, and still can't beat me. If you break down every single one of these fights, it's why when I see comments of, SK, he's fighting this guy, I've been doing it for 1 year. Some of these kids I'm fighting have been doing it for 2, 3, 4 years. You know? If any, like I always say, if any of these boys came to football, we'd smash them up easy. They can be training for 10 years. And I could not train it like a whole 10 years. Put them in a foot match against me, they won't stand a chance.
That's your world.
That's my world.
And you've gone into their world and
I'm stepping into these guys' world on a year's training. We're not talking about no experience from 9 years old that these kids have, or even 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16. I've had zero experience. And I walked into their world and said, you know what? I'm going to beat you at your own game. I'm going to smash at your own game. Last fight, I could have pulled out loads of times in camp. You know?
I can attest to that as well.
Loads of times in camp. I had a cut eye 2-3 weeks out from the fight. I couldn't spar for 2 weeks. Leading up to the biggest fight. My right hand went in camp as well. Could have pulled out again. My rib went in camp. Could have pulled out again. And there'll be people talking. But when you sit down and look at it, every single one of my opponents has more experience than me. Every single one of them. So yeah, that's me, man. And that's why I believe T5 in this generation, Like, all talk and no action. From the very beginning, I said, I will get the belt. Done. I will take this guy out. Done. I will fight this guy. Done. You know what I mean? All these guys, all they're doing is talking. And after they fight me, no one knows who they are after that. I'm on to the next. See you later. You had the chance. Melted. Bye.
This is where the platforms come from.
Bro, you said what I was about to say. So go on, elaborate. Because I swear my life, I was just waiting to interject.
It's that same transition of what SC Dons is and where DFC's been created, and being able to follow your journey and give you that platform, which is what we're trying to recreate with other people and give them that message, because we all know where we come from, the environment, and we've been pushing that message of putting down the weapons and if you want to have a tear, go and represent yourself in the ring. And it's something that even for myself, I've been able to witness your whole life basically. To see Salvin applying himself in this way and wanting to see that same hunger in other people's eyes is why this platform has to be respected, and we have to do the best job that we can, because we want that again.
Just to touch on your point as well, and this kind of segues off S's point as well. One thing I think a lot of people fail to realise is I always see comments of put him in with someone harder, put him in with someone like this, someone like that. What people fail to realise is Salvin's done 5-0, and in all of his 5 fights, we have had absolutely no element of control over who he fights. Now with this DFC platform, there is an element of control there.
Bro, all the opponents that you have fought will probably knock out most of the man that are right in his comments anyway.
100%.
Yeah, and also understand, we're the Dons, bro. We don't cut corners. Yeah, you've been in the gym working every single day, and that's what DFC is about. Yeah, you can only fight who's in front of you. Yeah, and you've fought who's in front of you, and you've knocked them out. That leads me on to this DFC thing. This is our first card. It's our first card, yeah. But we're gonna be consistent. We aim to put on 4 to 5 shows a year to start with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this is our first card. We might make mistakes. It might not be at the level we want to get it to yet, but this is the beginning. And I can guarantee you it's going to be a fantastic night of boxing. SK was supposed to be the headliner, but obviously he's damaged his hand, so he won't be headlining. So before we just get on to DFC, I just want to quickly touch on what's going on next for you. Because everyone has seen his latest fight with Harvey Van Cliff, which was a fantastic fight. Big up Harvey as well. I think he done well.
That first shot that he took.
Yeah, he's got a chin on him, bro. Because I've sparred SK, and he hits hard, man. And like that first shot you gave that guy, he could have dropped it. I think that could have been done there and then.
If that's a lot of other people like that, they go down.
They go down, bro.
His neck was at
his whole head was like that. His leg went nuts as well.
Stayed in there,
bro. So yeah, big him up. But yeah,
he's only young. He'll come again.
Exactly, yeah. But S you've done amazing this year. But anyway, so we got to a point because you was fighting regularly, bro. Like we're all excited. When's the next one? Yeah. So talk to us.
No, again, I like to reiterate what you said, man. I'm the guy that's fighting every week. Every week I'm fighting. But moving on from that now, I'm the Quest novice middleweight champion. But moving on now, me and Gab obviously spoke, and I'll be going into the amateurs now because the dream has always been to go pro. That's been the dream from the beginning, from day one. It's to go pro and prove my worth, because everyone just talks. Who's this SK guy? Who's this SK guy? Volley. I want to show the world who we are. You know what I mean? I ain't afraid of no one. I'll fight anyone, anytime, any place, any weight. Simple as that.
I was going to say anywhere. Man, you to say anywhere.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So going off the amateurs, the route is go pro. But you know me, I love fighting, and I've always mentioned the flips. It's always what I do is just give me the date and I'll show up. I've always told you that. I will show up. You see me, there's a lot of fighters in this game, man, that pull out and just are keyboard warriors. And for example, like listen, I respect all my opponents, yeah. But for example, Louis Brooks.
I was gonna say it. I was just about to say it.
Louis Brooks, yeah. I fought him for my second fight. Good fight, very good fighter. However, he's been writing in the comments, rematch on the Quest thing. My friend,
he was offered a rematch.
I offered him a rematch.
We've offered him a rematch, and
I offered him a rematch. He said he'll get back to me. I gave him a week. He never got back to me. Chased him up. He said he doesn't want to fight.
And like I said, Phipps, you're offering me these fights when I'm already in camp.
And you've been fighting away, bro. Let's get it right. Like, you've been fighting away. We've turned up to a couple S's fights, and we're only like 7 man
Being
deep.
booed in. Every part these guys are throwing and hitting glove.
Man are fighting.
Screaming.
We're fighting away. Like the fight against Harvey, we came strong, but even it was outnumbered then.
I said it on the night that I thought they would have given it to Harvey, simply based off how close it was and the fact that every shot that he was throwing, they were reacting to like it was a knockout blow, even though sometimes it wasn't even landing.
For me, I do not think it was close, bro.
It weren't.
I don't think it was close. I think it was close.
To be honest with you, like, closest fight for me, I would say, like, in terms of like where I actually thought it was a good fight. I'll give Louis Brooks his credit. Was Louis Brooks?
Yeah, you know, it was on the night when I was at the Harvey fight. I thought this is close. Yeah, because of where I was sitting and then the atmosphere. But when I watched it back, I don't think it was close at all.
I think it was close. I think you could have played it 3-1 either way.
I think he's the best technical boxer you fought. And out of all your fighters, I think he was technically the best.
He boxes like someone that's come out of the amateurs.
And he was technically, I think he was the best, and his chin was strong. But when I watched it back, in my humble opinion, I don't think it was close.
He applied all the pressure.
Yeah, I don't think it was close. I think it was a 3-1-S, maybe 4.
I don't see 4, but I see 3-1 either way. So it depends on what you're looking for. You get what I'm saying? I think the first round, I think Harvey took the first round. But I think you struggled to find him. But once you started getting your rhythm, second and third, in my opinion, were you. The fourth, in my opinion, was you. But if someone then says to me, Harvey had a big moment at the end of the third, sometimes that sways the judges. And the fourth was a close round. It could have gone either way.
Well, like I say, Flips, I don't believe it was even close.
You don't think it was close?
And even walking out the first round, I done my hand. So I was fighting a man with one hand.
Well, you see, those are the things that probably made it close.
No, this is what I'm saying. How can I? Listen, I respect every fight I fight against. I respect Harvey even more now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Harvey's a great fighter. He's a tough kid, and he'll come again. But when you break it down, let's break it down. These kids have been fighting a lot long. If I was Harvey, if I was Louis Brooks, if I was all these guys, I would have ironed me out. Because when I go 2-3 years in boxing, and you put someone who's been boxing a year against me, I am ironing them out. They're not going past round 1 or 2 max. You know, and I'm beating guys with one hand. Bro, there's so many times I could have put out that fight, man. Like that Tisdale fight.
Definitely.
Like,
and we all know that.
You saw me in camp. You know, the time I could barely spar.
Yeah.
Could barely run. And after that first round, my hand completely blew out. And I'm fighting a man with one hand, and man, I say it's close. Didn't feel close to me at all. And not one opponent that's hurt me in 5 fights. I've not felt any opponent's power. I've not been stung by anything. I've not been wobbled. I've not been on the ground. Nothing. It's me applying the pressure. It's me standing and wanting to fight. It's me showing up every time, regardless, making no excuses. Everyone else full of excuses. And kind of people are giving him excuses. Oh, it's either they're young, or it's either SK looks bigger than him, or it's always I don't know.
Weight class.
But the thing is, you see the whole SK looks bigger than him thing. I think that's a stupid thing to say, because he was heavier than him.
I'm coming lighter than these guys on the scales. My third fight, I almost came in 2 kg lighter than my fighter. You know, so these are the things that the boxing public are not realizing.
I think that, you see, because of who you are and your platform and stuff like that, people are finding it hard to justify why you're doing as well as you are. Now, you shouldn't be 5-0 right now. Yeah? Given your level of experience and the people you've been fighting, you shouldn't be 5-0 right now. People are struggling to justify that. That's what it is. These opponents, before they step in the ring with SK, aren't like these little weaklings or whatever. These are people who believe they're coming to beat you.
Absolutely.
And I said this to you before, that first shot always kind of sends them back with their tail between their legs. This was something that was clearly evident, especially in your 4th fight with Ronnie Washington. We've all seen that first jab. But before that, his body language was different. He thought he was coming to teach SK a lesson. The guy was smug as hell. And he nearly fooled me with that look before the fight started. You know what I mean? I thought, oh, this one might be close, you know? And then he put him out in a round. So people struggle to justify it, and that's just the way of life.
But, again, like I like to always say, it's the TUA way, man. It's the TUA way. We spar hard, we train hard, and make no excuses.
The blood garden.
I mean, I'll give you even a story. Like, my brother Ennis, Ennis, I love you, bro, but I'm gonna tell the story anyways. He's been trained hard all camp, and it's his birthday, and he misses, I think he missed the train session. But just his birthday, he says, listen, guys, listen, I'm gonna be with my birthday, get the family, just enjoy it. I'll be back the next day.
One day, you know.
One day. He come back the next day, Shaq and Gav, they went in on him.
I was there, bro.
They went in on him. Andrew's there, he can tell you. They went in on him. Because it's a TUA way. When you're on camp, you give 100% every time, all the time. You know what I mean?
And you don't dare quit, bro.
You don't dare quit.
No, that's one thing that I've seen, because you see with this whole DFC stuff, I've been in and around boxing a bit more than I would usually. And going down to gym and all of that and being around it, you know, sometimes as a man, your ego kind of carries you. So at one point I was even saying to Ezra, I was like, but I'm getting the itch, you know, I might just, you know, jump in a camp, jump rope a bit and fucking throw hands. And then there was one day I went to watch sparring, yeah? And it was Tariq.
Hey, insert clip.
I'm done. Time, get out. Get out there, get out there. Move him out there, just round it.
And it was Tariq. Tariq had just come back from an 8-month layoff, yeah? He dropped his first 3 opponents, yeah? I said, I ain't got the itch no more, bro. I said, I don't want to fight no more. So, like, I say that to say, I've witnessed the sparring at TUA. I've witnessed the sparring at other gyms. I've sparred at other gyms. But the sparring at TUA is something else. And, you know, boxing's a game of opinion. Some people will say that hinders you. Some people will say that helps you. But the fact of the matter is, I haven't seen sparring like the sparring at TUA.
You're going into the amateurs now, yeah?
Yeah.
So that means we won't be filming your fights. So people don't think that S is inactive. You're going to go and do what you got to do now, which is amateurs.
Yeah.
You won't be featuring on DFC because of the injury to your hand. That's actually it. We had you as here. We had S as main event. And when did you fight Harvey? September the 10th.
September 10th.
So he was going to be fighting September the 10th and October the 22nd. Yeah. What's that? 6 weeks in between? 5 weeks in between?
The man loves a fight, bro.
Do you understand? But so yeah, he can't fight that. So
And
yeah.
it was going to be a good quality opponent.
Yeah, that's
We're
what
talking
I remember. It was
national
meant to be.
champion.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm saying.
And because I remember thinking, bro, he's just come out this fight. You know what I mean? But that's credit to SK.
And when we approached Gav with it, we were kind of hesitant to approach Gav it, and he was like, "Yeah, chuck him in there,
chuck him in there, yeah, chuck him in there. That's what we want. That's what we want.
Me and Gav, they said to the fight in camp.
Yeah,
Exactly. You guys came to us and said, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
'Cause I know I'm not going to get scratched or
And one thing I will say as well is every time the opponent potentially changed, the answer never changed once. It was always, yeah, go on then.
Yeah, honestly,
It
Gav,
just didn't matter.
listen, of all the, there's been a couple fighters on, we're going to get to it now. We're going to move on to DFC properly now, yeah? So we'll get onto that now. I will quickly say as well, is this podcast, we're going to upload it also on the, it's going to be double uploaded, one on the Don's channel and also on the DFC channel. So there's a DFC channel as well. Head over to that as well, subscribe to that, because that's going to be all boxing content. Obviously the Don's channel is more football related, and obviously you'll get the Don's fighters on the Don's channel, but head over to the Don's Fight Club as well, subscribe to that, that's going to be there. But just saying that quickly, yeah, in terms of TUA and Gav and that as our matchmakers, there's been a couple fights where we've also, because there's been people that pull out, there's been a few pull outs, isn't it? So we've had to arrange, kind of get some fights on as well. And to be fair to Gav, yeah, and them like at TUA, every time we've come to him with an opponent for one of the TUA fighters, he said, yeah, mate, do it.
Yeah, go on, man.
Even when there was like a couple man that got experience, and he's like, yeah, that's what we want.
Get him in.
That's what we want.
With exclamation marks.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want.
TUA mate.
So alright, cool. We're gonna move on now, yeah. DFC, Don's Fight Club, War at the Wood, because that Beaverwood Club, what's it called?
Yeah, Beaverwood Club, yeah.
Yeah, War at the Wood, where you got your victory.
Yeah.
Flips is 1-0. You fought there when? This time last year, really, innit?
It was
last year,
November
just
6th
further?
last year.
So a year on, we're putting on our first show. Do you know what I'm saying? Thank you to everyone that's bought tickets so far. Tickets are still available. They're available from SC Don's, all SC Don's matches. And just hit us on a DM and come grab your tickets, £40 at War at the Wood. October the 22nd, like I said, we have 10 fights on the card. Don's fighters, Big Doug is fighting, and Ginge's it's like a co-main event, right?
Yeah, so basically, just to give some background, S was due to be the main event, fighting for the DFC middleweight title. We thought that would be a good starting point for a belt, because we've all seen S's journey and he's earned his stripes in front of everybody's eyes to fight for a title.
And knowing that he was going to be off to the amateurs, it was like a good send-off.
So there was no way anyone could tell me that he's not due to fight for a title. With that being said, we've got 10 fights. We haven't put a title on the line because we want to legitimize what we're doing. So we want people to earn the right to fight for a title in front of you, the viewers. So our main event now is Ginge versus Pat Hill. To give that some context, we didn't want Ginge and Pat Hill to fight on this card. We wanted to, because they're two quality fighters. Now, a lot of people don't know this about Ginge, but he's a 4-bout amateur. No, I think he's a 5-bout amateur, 4 and 1 at amateurs. He's had 3 white collar fights in recent years, won all 3 of them. Yeah. Pat came from the world of MMA. He's had 2 fights in the last few years, won both of them. We wanted to keep them away from each other, as I say, because we wanted to build to that, like introduce them both to the audience as boxers, and then create a demand for it. But with S's hand malfunctioning in the Harvey Van Cleef fight, we were left without a main event, and we don't want to put people on the main event just so they're on we want a good standard in our main event. And we hit up both Pat and Ginge, and they both said yeah, like without any hesitation. And these two are absolute savages, I'll tell you that now. I keep flip-flopping between who I think is going to win, like every hour on the hour, because they've got 2 different sets of attributes. Ginge obviously will have the size advantage, strength, power. We all know his background as a PT, does a lot of strength and conditioning, but Pat just has that dog in him. He just has that dog. That's how I've got to describe it. He's got that dog in him. I've seen him spar against people twice his size, and one thing I will say is don't let appearance fool you, because Pat isn't the tallest, but Pat comes and goes, and
stronger.
He's very strong. Like, you can, like, as I was saying to you the other day, you could tell by his neck. Yeah. His neck is thick.
Stronger.
So it's a great main event. The winner of this will go on to fight for the cruiserweight title.
Pat is an animal. The guy's an animal, man. Like, he spars at SK, he's getting good sparring in there. And then Ginge is, on the other hand, is also an animal to his craft. So it's going to be a sick fight, man. And it's a worthy main event. I can't even call it.
Another thing you've got to remember, we all know Ginge personally, not even on a boxing level. And there's one person that you know that doesn't know how to lose. It's Ginge.
Yeah, he does.
Ginge doesn't know how to lose at all. Like, Ginge,
hey, I've got to give credit to Ginge, you know, because like, when, just without us waffling on too much here, like, remember when we gave him the call?
Well, yeah, we're in the car together.
Yeah, because boxing, but you know, boxing ain't a joke, bro.
Course, yeah.
Like, fighting a man it's not a joke, bro. Like, it ain't. And like, we rang Ginge and said, look, Ginge, we're gonna put on a card, you know, do you want to get involved? He said, yeah, I'm in. Put me in 100%. No questions asked. And Pat ain't no easy fight, bro. No. Like, I'm telling you, bro. Pat so credit to Ginge and credit to Pat, bro.
But you have to remember,
they're both working hard, bro.
Remember that the new kind of DFC supporters that are coming through are going to get the opportunity to see what we've done at the Dons in DFC, in terms of we build up their profiles and you get to know them, because there's a lot of people at home that only have known Ginge for his little moments on the camera. They might not know who Pat is, but the community in boxing will know who he is. And this is where we come in, because we're able to bring those personalities to the scenes. There will be the face-offs, you know, the interviews where you get to know who they are. But not only that, after the big night itself, the production, the way we're able to bring what actually happens in a whole day event into one episode, allows people that haven't made it to this first DFC event to be able to see it worldwide. And that's why we need them to subscribe. We need them to follow this journey. We need you to follow the Instagram so you can get those updates, because that's what we do. We take stories and we stretch them all over the world. So if you're at home now and you're thinking, well, I'm not going to be able to make this first one, you've missed a trick. In all honesty, you've missed a trick. But the fact that you're going to be able to watch this event after you've even attended on the night, because you're gonna know that you're part of history. Is special.
It's gonna be one of those events where even if you attend that, you're gonna want to relive it. Definitely, you're definitely gonna want to relive it, because we're working hard on not just throwing guys in and making them fight, but the atmosphere. Well, like it's an event. It's not just fights. It's not chicken fighting. It's a fucking do. You know what I mean? So for those of you who have got tickets or will be buying tickets, you're in for a good night. Those of you who can't make this one, it's only going to get bigger and better. So
we're not giving them the option though. Why give them the? You need to be there.
Fair enough.
I'm telling you this now, because if anyone knows the way we work, you know what's going on.
Yeah, you've seen the cup finals. You've seen everything.
You know what's going on. Let's not play the fools here, gentlemen.
You know what we do.
You know what we do. That we haven't taken a backward step and just said, okay, no. We've been here to support his journey. Mm-hmm. We've now witnessed it, and we've shown you what you can do if you get behind people and the levels you can take it to. Now we're telling you we've got an event in South East London as well, our home turf. Hey, forgive me, on the doorstep where Paul is buried. Do you understand?
Yeah,
this ain't a joke. Yeah. Where you had your first fight.
Some things are written,
bro. You don't. This stuff doesn't just happen. I don't believe in just, this is supposed to be a massive moment that we're all going to be looking back on, and we're saying this was only the start. Mm-hmm. So if you're real, do you know what supporting actually means? Support isn't just saying, yeah, I saw what you've done. Support is getting money that you've earned out of your pocket and saying, I'm here to get behind that. And that's what we need. Not just the people that we don't know, the people that we do know being there. You should be able to see the whole Dons lineup. You should know all the boys who are there. And you should know that there's people within our own community who are figureheads saying, these boys are doing something positive for the community. They're saying, put down the knives, go and pick up your gloves, go and learn some discipline. Don't just talk shit, bruv.
Who else is doing that?
Do you understand?
Who else is doing that?
Bro,
I mean,
it's deep, you know. It's deep.
Who else is going out there?
Nah, for real.
It's deep, really trying to help.
Man, we're being too placid tonight, for real, man.
Nah,
come and support, man. Come and support what we're doing in our community, bruv. This is something. This is. We laugh about it. We're just some young boys of a dream. Donnie Hearn, Dana Black, Big G Warren. I'm trying to work out if it's SK Ben or SKU Bank. I'm not sure which one it is.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
But we're trying something here, man. We're doing something, and we're going to be consistent. So yeah, come and support, man. G's right, man. Come and support. What do you mean you're not supporting?
And also
DFC, the Don's first boxing card. What do you mean you're not there? Come on, man. We got man going to war, fam. Like from the Dons, Doug ain't a boxer. Doug's almost 40 years old, bro.
I'm saying.
Doug ain't a boxer, bro. Doug's jumping in the ring with a man that's got experience as well. That's another one, fam.
Yeah,
Doug is fighting a man that has experience, bro. Doug ain't a boxer.
Doug goes into his fight as the underdog.
Underdog, bro.
Goes into his fight as the underdog, definitely. Yeah. So
can you read out the card?
Doug versus Benny Joseph is the co-main event. As Andrew just touched on, Benny Joseph has the experience advantage, but Doug has something to prove, man. Doug has something to prove. Everyone's underestimated Doug in everything. Underestimated him in football. Underestimated him in boxing, and he's got something to prove. We've got Aaron DeSantis versus Linden Combs at heavyweight. That's gonna be probably the best atmosphere of the night. Yes. That is the best atmosphere of the night.
Yeah. Don't want to miss that one.
Bro, Aaron DeSantis, when he was approached about fighting, Aaron DeSantis is of Indian descent, yeah? Just to make that clear from now. When he was approached about fighting, his first question was, can I bring a drummer for my entrance?
Look at that.
He's coming out with everybody. Linden Combs is from Burton. And
is he 2-0?
2-0. Big heavyweight.
Yes.
130 kilos, I think. And
the unmovable object.
Bro.
And he's on a journey as well.
He's on a... And the thing is, one thing I will say about all these fighters is they've all been told, but I want to make this clear for the audience as well. You will be seeing them again, win or lose. They're with us for the journey. Win or lose, you'll be seeing them again at some point on a DFC card. It may not be the next one, may not be the one after that. It's whenever it's right for them.
And big up all the big up all the fighters for jumping on in our first card.
Yeah.
A lot of that's out of love for us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So big up all the fighters, man.
One thing I will say as well is anybody who sees this and wants to fight on DFC, just hit us up. Hit us up.
Next card after this will be when, like March, February.
Yeah, March.
DFC 2, March 2023. Jump on it. Might even see your boy Jones on there.
Boy,
Don't make the skipper say it because I'll do it, bro.
That's why I said might. Gives me a chance to pull out. But yeah, let's read out the card if possible, please.
yeah. So Joff Rollins versus Paul Horry. Joff has been getting a lot of rounds in with Doug.
Big up, Joff.
What's Vinnie say?
Pierce.
Vinnie Pierce versus Marcus Stevenson. Vinnie is a fucking goer.
Wait, he's fighting Mark Stevenson, the one I fought in my first fight, yeah?
Is that is, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what's funny about that?
Good fight,
That's a good fight. Still, they're both durable.
Yeah.
I didn't know who won
Hey,
this.
Vinny's
My
a-
first ever spar was with Vinnie Pierce.
Yeah.
See Vinny, bro.
Vinnie can go.
Vinny, you know,
refuse to go down.
Vinny's like, you know what Vinny's like, bro.
Yeah.
You know what Vinny's a little bit like.
What?
It sounds dumb to say, but he's like a little bit like a Joe Joyce, you know.
Yeah.
He don't stop, bro. He just keeps coming,
Vinny will keep
walking.
coming forward all night long.
Vinny helped me so
What
much
a
when
fight,
I was in camp. He helped me a lot, bro, because he just keeps coming.
And they're both two durable, tough fighters.
And they're gonna go for it. They're both there for a fight, innit?
I mean, yeah, check my third fight out. That's who Vinny's fighting.
The third
That's what
fight.
I'm saying.
Hey,
You know he was like
that's that. I thought you said first fight.
Third.
Oh, third.
That's who he's
That's a
fighting.
good fight.
That's a good fight, bro.
Good fight.
How many rounds is it?
That one will be 3 freeze.
3 freeze.
Yeah, that one will be 3 freeze.
Hey, that's a good
That's
fight,
a
you
good
know.
fight.
They're both going for it.
That's a good fight.
I didn't even know, bro.
You don't remember what he said after he fought SK?
What?
A bit of a street kid. You don't remember? You don't remember when he was talking? He was like, I know you weren't gonna get me out.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, when he fought S, yeah.
No, I
He said,
respect it.
I knew you weren't gonna get me out of there.
I respect it.
But he's good. He's too good. But I knew you weren't gonna get
He's
me
got
out of there.
power, but I'm protecting myself.
That's a sick fight, bro.
Great fight.
But one thing I will say is, yeah, you see with Marcus Stevenson being SK's former opponent, he's going to come with a point to prove because he's
tough,
trying to
bro.
fight in
That's
front
tough.
of the biggest audience that he fought in front of, being SE Don subscribers, and he lost. So he's going to come trying to show, you know what, I'm not this loser that you lot think I am. You know what I mean?
That's a good
And
fight,
Vinny,
bro.
if Vinny was fighting a camera tripod, it would be a great fight. Because I've seen him spar.
It's an exciting fight.
Bro, honestly,
A tripod.
it's the kind of fight you want to watch forever. Yeah, it's the kind of fight you want to watch forever, G. You know what I mean? No, he's actually a good fighter.
Vinny's got a great style.
And-
And Mark Stevenson as well.
Bro, it's mad.
What a fight.
You've got Jordan Pennant versus Reese Williams.
Jordan. I know about I sparred
Reese
Jordan.
is from Essex. I don't know too much about him.
I can tell you about
But
Jordan.
tell us about Jordan.
I sparred Jordan helped me massively in my upcoming to my fight. So big up Jordan, thank you for that. He's another one that just loves boxing. He loves to fight, bro. Like he loves to, and I've seen him spar Mason, Ennis. Like, he comes and spars all of them, and then and he just keeps coming forward. Jordan is a fighter, bro.
Got some good fights.
We've got another former SK opponent on the card as well. Brad Woods, who fights out of TUA, will be fighting Ronnie Washington.
Sick.
Ronnie Washington, another man with something to prove, and I think with Ronnie,
Is that confirmed, yeah?
yeah, confirmed. He's probably got a bit more to prove than Marcus because
He
of
lost his last fight,
the manner in which he went out to SK and the fact that he's lost since. So, like, I've looked into Ronnie's eyes at the Quest show where he did have his last fight, and I'm telling you, like, okay, cool. I don't really like tapping into that side of boxing, but we're all aware of Deji's journey recently, right? Where he's lost all his fights and then won that one. I think Ronnie's chasing that moment on DFC, and we're better to chase it.
Yeah.
And I know what, that's why I respect Ronnie.
Yeah.
Because like, he loses the fight, guess what? He's in the ring.
And can I tell you something? Can I tell you something about Ronnie? Ronnie's booked to fight in DFC.
And he's fighting
in a rematch against the guy that he just lost to in November. So he's got 2 fights
Look
booked.
at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Because he said, I don't care if I'm fighting on DFC, I'm not sleeping on the L. He said, I really wanted to win that fight. That one meant a lot to me. And he thought he had done enough to win it, but he didn't get the decision. It was a close fight. And he said, I'm not happy with that. I want to rematch him.
I thought he done enough to win the fight.
He said the next...
I didn't see it, to be
No,
fair.
He said the next Quest
enough
card,
to
I need to fight that guy again. So big respect to him. You've got TJ Simmons versus Mike Lloyd.
I know it's TJ Simmons.
I know TJ boxes at TUA, right?
I know
knows TJ?
he's actually a kickboxer.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually, from when I was just
I know you
learning to box, like start of the year, TJ actually came in the squad. I remember I came in and I was like, actually, as Gab always does. Night before his SK, you're sparring at 7 a.m, mate.
And it's at 10 p.m, bro.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
Yeah, bro.
I'm thinking, okay, sweet, no worries. But in back then, I'm thinking, who's sparring? But I'm scared to ask him if I'm sparring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I should let him deal with it. I got into the gym and I saw TJ there. I said, oh, I'm sparring him. I said, yeah. He's like 65 kg. And yeah, he's fast, man. He's quick. He's very game. And he'll be there all night. Like, no one's stopping TJ. You know what I mean? And that's a very
kickboxing is tough.
It's tough.
Yeah, they're tough. Fam, man, I used to taking shins to the temple, G.
everything.
Like, bro, that's mad. And the thing is as well, a lot of the time, like, we've all been in and around boxing gyms. There's a certain kind of, I wouldn't say disrespect, but there's a disregard for people who come from other forms of combat sports, because the footwork is something you have to adjust on the fly, and you have to relearn your footwork. TJ, by all accounts, has come in, relearned everything, and he's earned the respect that, okay, Gav feels confident putting him in on such a big show. So big respect to TJ, because not all kickboxers can do that. And I have to echo the same sentiments towards Pat. Pat came from MMA.
Yeah.
Not all MMA fighters can transition into fighting in boxing. Like, we've seen it. How many? We saw Conor. Connor's Connor's an elite striker in MMA.
Yeah.
Went over.
Out of his depth.
Yeah. So, and albeit he was fighting Floyd, who's
But he even looked at it.
yeah.
I heard this thing that Tyson was talking. He was like, oh, this is the greatest man. He's put in with a man who's the greatest in the last 100 years. He's the greatest. You're not listening. You're not listening. And he was like, no, yeah, you're right. He lost the 10 rounds. He's like, you're not listening. He lasted 10 rounds. He's the greatest.
Wow.
Yeah, but Flips, continue, please, bro.
Yeah. So we've got Pete.
Sorry, my bad. Dana Black.
Yeah, joker. So we've got Pete Blythe versus Deanie Ezra. Yeah.
Skinny Pete.
So Pete Blythe. Pete Blythe.
Them rib shots.
This is a 64 kilo fight. Yeah. Pete Blythe hits the bag like a super middleweight. Super middleweights are 76 kilos. His shot placement and his shot accuracy is mad. He's got a gas tank, keeps coming forward. But then, what you've got is Deanie Yasmin. Deanie Yasmin's a young lad. Biggest SC Dons fan you can come across. He came across Mitchell on his escapades and said, Mitchell. He said, Mitchell.
Crook line this one up.
Yes. He said, Mitchell, I'm not leaving you alone till you get me on DFC.
Sign the crook.
Mitchell rang me. I said, give the young lad my number, and we've got him a fight.
Big up Dean Yasmin, bruv.
One, I don't know too much about Dean's fighting capabilities. It's a good match based on records, but I don't know about his style or anything. But what I can tell you, after talking to this kid on the phone, he's coming to make a statement. And the beauty of having... He's from somewhere in London. I think he's from South London. He's from Kent.
Deep Kent.
He's from Kent, yeah? So you know what type we're dealing with. So you see someone who's watched SC Dons from its infancy and watch it grow. I believe he understands what this means more than anyone on this card. Because he's seen us from the ground up. And he's watched it from afar and he's wanted to be involved in it. But I'm gonna be real, Dean, I apologise if I'm about to insult you. He's probably shit at football. He's finally found his way into SC Dons. And he's not gonna let this opportunity miss him lightly. So that's gonna be a great fight.
Also, even Pete, his last fight, he knocked the guy out. The guy was out for 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
The guy was literally out cold for 5 minutes.
Let's hope that Dean turned the podcast off at this point.
Listen, I've seen Pete training in the gym. He's training hard and he's game.
I body sparred with him and he hit me in the ribs, yeah? Let's just move on.
You've got James Smith also fighting on the card. Now the thing with James Smith's opponent is it was confirmed just before we came on air, so we just need to go through a few details with him to get him fully confirmed. I don't want to say his name and like put pressure on him to fight or whatever. It's a delicate thing. Fighting's a delicate thing, but it's like that is a great fight because these are two guys who have gone far in their amateur journeys, and they've nearly hit that pro height, and they've taken time away from boxing. They've both gone about, done their other endeavors, and they've set themselves up in ways that, you know, they've got other things in the fire. And now they're circling back to boxing, not to try and go pro, not to try and win amateur national championships, but for the love of it. And yeah, it's going to be a great night of fights. You want to fight on future DFC cards, hit any of us up. The DFC Insta's there as well, which is probably your best port of call. But feel free to drop me a DM at least. He's probably got too many DMs from people asking for features and shit like that anyway. Big G's got too many, you got too many. I ain't really got no friends, so DM me. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a great night. Don't miss out, boys and girls. Yeah?
DFC, war in the wood.
Get your ticket.
October 22nd. See you there.
War in the
Get your
wood.
ticket.
Why these nerds all screaming out gang? My shooters like United, don't sleep on them, they tango and bang. I was in Rio with Gio, found me a wife with a golden tan. I'm the kid with a golden plan, came from the trap, it was cold and damp. Now I'm in Park Row with dams. London City is burning, and the pigs still lurking. Car like Chelsea, I'm bringing in sterling.